Normally when I make these videos where it's called like this blank team tricked the NBA, they're normally about a team that's being very underrated, like the Phoenix Suns, the Utah Jazz, the Memphis Grizzlies, even the Chicago Bulls. It's meant to be a compliment that this team was may or may not supposed to be good, but regardless, they became a really good team, they're just not getting talked about. And while some of you clicked on this video maybe thinking that it was going to be kind of like that video, it's actually the complete opposite. Coming into the season, we all assumed that the Lakers were going to be a really good top team. In fact, in my super team video that I made about the Lakers, I said I did not think they were a super team. However, I thought they were going to win the NBA championship. Now about the Lakers bench and their rotation that's going to go on, I think it's a good rotation. They got shooters in Wayne Ellington, they got a veteran in Carmelo Anthony, they got players like Trevor Ariza, and I know we're making the retirement home jokes and we could make those, but still, it's still a good supporting cast. It's just not a super team. I'm going to say this once and I'm not going to repeat this again unless I make a playoff prediction video. The Los Angeles Lakers, I believe, are gonna win the finals this year. That is me being non-biased to the Phoenix Suns. I believe the Lakers will win. That's a fact. And while at the time that seemed like it was very much possible because the NBA media and just people in general convinced me that this team was actually good, I can't even recall the amount of fights and debates I got into about are the Lakers a super team or even a good team for that matter. Because I think it's safe to say that anytime LeBron James is on a team, that 99% of that time that team is going to be competing for a championship. And if they're not competing for a championship, they're at least going to make the playoffs most of the time. And I think some people would assume that if this Lakers team was going to do bad, it's because LeBron James is getting up there in age and his play would start to go down. However, if we look at it from the past couple weeks, I think it's safe to say that LeBron James only has not aged, but he's gotten better. He made the transition to playing center, which a lot of people, including myself, said that LeBron James could play any position that he wants to. So I don't think this is realistically a bad move. I just didn't understand why it was made. However, there's a reason I said that this team was hyped up too much and that they tricked a bunch of people into thinking they were good. Now, some of the things for the Lakers are just things that are out of their control and you just can't really change the fact that it happened, which is stuff like injuries. But then there are things that some of the players do or that management has done. Now, obviously, the Lakers are not in control whether Anthony Davis gets hurt or not, but I guess it gives a little context to was it smart for the Lakers to get Anthony Davis when they traded for him? He's one of the best big men in the league. He's definitely going to go down a Hall of Famer, but he only has one small flaw, and that flaw is obviously him being injury prone, which really does suck, especially if you have talent like Anthony Davis. On the contrary, I don't think it's possible to call this trade an L because we all know that the Lakers would go on to win a championship literally their first season with Anthony Davis, and realistically, I think they could have gone deep in the playoffs last year too. Now, Anthony Davis is currently out at the time of recording this video, and we have no exact idea when he's supposed to return, at least from everything that I've seen. And before this season, a lot of people would argue that it was Anthony Davis's team, that he was the best player on that team, and I would personally say that you could make that argument and no one would look at you crazy. To us, it seemed like that LeBron James was starting to regress and that age really started to hit him. But now if we fast forward to about literally these past 2 to 3 weeks, it seems like that LeBron James has somehow gotten better from even his prime. If we were to look at a chart of his NBA seasons and how he did in each one, the chart would be going up right now. Of course, the Lakers have more than 2 players, and I think someone we need to talk about is Russell Westbrook. Now, I've been very critical of Russell Westbrook, I've been very optimistic about Russell Westbrook, and I don't really think we can have a final verdict just yet. But is it also fair to give a player a final verdict in the middle of the season? Absolutely not. Now, statistically, when you look at it, Russell Westbrook is having a down year compared to his other seasons, but I don't think that tells the full story of how bad it is. Obviously, we knew Russell Westbrook wasn't going to average a triple-double every single game. We obviously knew he wasn't going to average even 25 points per game. And even though a lot of people, including myself, made the point that Russell Westbrook was not a fit for the Lakers, I will say that he somehow has done worse than I thought. This season, it seems like that Russell Westbrook has been very notorious for having triple-doubles, and he said something not that long ago that honestly pissed me off. When somebody asked Russell Westbrook about expectations, he said the following: "I think people are expecting me to have 25, 15, and 15. That's not a normal thing that people do consistently. I know I've done it for the last 5 years, but that's not normal." And I'm gonna be honest, when I saw that tweet, I literally wanted to run to my computer and make a 10-minute video on why what he said pissed me off. No one asked Russell Westbrook to get 25, 15, and 15. Yeah, no shit, that's normal, but you haven't even done that for the past 5 years. You've had games like that before, but you've never averaged 25, 15, and 15. I don't know anyone that's done that. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain probably did it, but that's not the point. No one is actually actually said, I expect Russell Westbrook to get 25, 15, and 15 or else he's doing bad. I'm not even gonna lie, your 28 and 8 is pretty modest when you look at the situation you're in. Even though I try to remind people that you should not always fully look at the box score, you should actually watch them play to get context. The reason people are mad at Russell Westbrook is because he's having so many damn turnovers. I mean, he leads the league in turnovers right now. If LeBron James wasn't dominating at center, I would honestly say that you should put him at point guard, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't think it's smart to have Russell Westbrook be a ball dominant player in your offense. Now, I try not to cross over NFL and NBA on this channel, but when I do, I'm just trying to give context from another sport standpoint. But take Trevon Diggs from my Dallas Cowboys. He gets a lot of interceptions. However, he also leads the league in the most yards given up by a corner. The thing is that he's a gambler and he's someone that's willing to take a chance. With the way his game is played, he's allowed to have a couple mistakes, and the way he makes up for those mistakes is by making big plays like turnovers or bat downs. The difference between Russell Westbrook and Trevon Diggs is that Trevon Diggs and the Cowboys are going to the playoffs and the Lakers might not even sniff the play-in. If you couldn't tell what I was trying to get at by making that comparison, basically Russell Westbrook can have turnovers, he can have bad games, that's fine. Literally every single NBA player this season has had a bad game, even Steph Curry, who a lot of people thought could not have a bad game. But the problem remains is that when it's a continuation of turnovers, and bad games and poor shooting performances, and it's not like he's putting up 30 and 10 to make up for his efforts of like 9 turnovers. I could justify James Harden getting 10 turnovers in a game if he had like 30 to 35 points. I don't think I realized how bad it was until Undisputed decided to run a story talking about Russell Westbrook not having a turnover versus the Kings. How is this a storyline? 12-31 versus the Portland Trailblazers in a 139-106 victory. LeBron James scored 43 points. He had 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks with 0 turnovers. You know why he had 0 turnovers? Despite being a ball dominant player, he actually knows how to control the basketball and not turn over the ball every single play. And if you look at these box scores, there are games where he does have 1, 2, 3, sometimes 5 or 6 turnovers. Now it seems like that the Lakers have been trying to trade him, at least that's what the word has been. However, I don't think that is actually going to happen. If the Lakers were to trade Russell Westbrook, depending on the situation, I would probably be shocked. This team has potential to be better, and I will say that they definitely have looked a lot better these past couple weeks. And despite being 6th in the Western Conference, they're sitting at a record at 20-19, while having a record of 4-6 of their last 10 games. I would like to think that they're going to make some changes with their team during the deadline. I would at least consider, because if they do not do that, then the Lakers will probably not even make the play-in. But with that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you do leave a like on this and subscribe to the channel if you're new and notifications on. Hey y'all, my fault for the late upload. I was not supposed to upload today. I woke up with a migraine and my head still hurts right now, but I really want to talk about this, and I honestly hate when I don't upload. With that being said, I'll see y'all boys in the next video. Have an amazing day. Take care. Peace.